Welcome to Whales to Sails, everyone, episode 1. In this episode, we're going to show you the boat that was perfect for us and the reasons that we picked it. I'm Mark.
And I'm Shelly.
We are professional pilots flying the Boeing 747, nicknamed the Whale because of its massive size. We have circled the globe and crossed the oceans countless times. Join us as we take you with us not only in the air, but our journey to travel the world at sea level in our catamaran sailboat on Whales to Sails.
After an exhaustive search, multiple boat shows, and actually several years, we decided on the perfect boat for us. And one of the major reasons or item that was most important to me was that it felt like home on board, that I could actually see myself living on it full time. That it would have all the amenities I'm used to having at home. I wanted it to have its own water maker. I wanted a dishwasher, a fully equipped kitchen, a washer and a dryer. I didn't want to have to exit the boat numerous times throughout the week in order to just accomplish the things that you do in your everyday life.
Yep, it had to feel like home for Shelly, and if it felt like home for her, it was going to feel like home for me, because if it didn't feel like home for her, I was going to be home alone. That's for sure. And anyway, so we did find a boat that does meet that criteria. It felt like home for Shelly. The other criteria that we wanted was that the boat had to be built by a reputable builder, one that had been in business for some time, knew what they were doing, had a worldwide network of dealers. When you called them, they answered the phone. So it had to be somebody that had been in business for a while. The design had been in business for a while. They knew what they were doing, and we just didn't want to be the guinea pigs for a one-off design or a custom build boat, because that's what we were looking at. There's a lot of good builders out there, and they've been in business for a very long time. So we had our work cut out for us in trying to choose which one to go with. And one of the other options that we had to have was what, Shelly?
Performance. If we were going to be sailing around the world, I didn't want to barely be moving and have to use the motors all the time. So it was important to me to find the type of boat that would also have some level of performance, recognizing that there could be a compromise there. It can't be all about performance and be like a home, but it needed to perform better than most of the catamarans that we had chartered, because they're built for charter and we were going to sail.
Right. I mean, we needed a boat that was still going to be able to sail in light airs and still be able to get somewhere whenever the wind is light, which is most of the time. Most of the time you're wanting more wind than wanting less wind in a sailboat. So we wanted something that could perform in light airs, and something that could sail close to the wind, and something that would be fast and performance while being comfortable, and Shelly felt like home doing it.
I wanted it to be safe also.
Yep, Shelly wanted it to be safe. That should probably be number one in our mind.
It wasn't.
But safety's always third. But anyway, it had to be well constructed. There's several different methods of constructing a boat and what it can be built out of. You know, the oldest one being of wood, of course, but now they're built out of fiberglass or carbon fiber. And then there's different resins that can be used in the building of this boat, one of them being polyester, which is the cheapest by far. And then there's vinyl ester, and then the most expensive is epoxy. So we wanted a boat either built out of vinyl ester or epoxy, or with carbon fiber. So in building those, you start to get into some money.
Which brings up another point. It needed to fit our budget.
It had to fit our budget. And so we had to find a boat that we were able to afford, one that fit our budget, one that we didn't break the bank for us anyway, and something that we felt like that we could own without disturbing our finances too much. If we do that.
Too much?
Yep. So we had to find one that, you know, was reasonable for us to purchase. And we both had good jobs, and we're both retired from those good jobs. So it was within our budget. So
quite frankly, it needed to not scare the crap out of me when I paid for it.
Yeah, well, it's done that also.
Well, true.
So anyway, the boat that we went to, as Shelly said, we went to numerous boat shows. We went to Annapolis twice. We went to Miami twice. Every time we were on a layover, I'd always go to the marina and look at the boats. And we always kept coming back to this one boat. And this one boat really stood out. Well, actually, really stood out to Shelly. And Shelly kept bringing me back to this boat, saying, this is the boat that I feel like home in. And then she kept repeating the fact that if it didn't feel like home, I was going to be on the boat by myself. So after much agreement, I kept being drawn back to the same boat as well. It did feel like home. It had a lot of extra space. It ticked the boxes for a company that had been in business for a long time. It ticked the boxes for being well built, and it also ticked the boxes for being
Performance.
Performance, for sure.
And at one of the boat shows, Mark got the opportunity to actually go on it and sail. And I think that's what helped convince him that this boat was good for us.
Yeah, the catamarans that I'd been on are all been charter boats, and they're motor boats with a sail on them, and I knew that. But to get on a real sailing catamaran, that was quite an adventure. I mean, we were in 6-7 knots of wind, and we were doing 6 and 7 knots, which was quite impressive. Or I was very impressed anyway. So, which is the boat that ticked the boxes?
The Katana OC50.
The Katana OC50. It's a 50-foot boat, as indicated by the name of the boat, built by Katana and Cannet in Roussillon, France. And Katana's been in business for probably a long time anyway.
Yeah,
I don't know the exact number of years, but they've been in business for a long time, and they know how to build boats. And they also build another boat brand that's built for the charter market. So they have a large dealer network that could service the boat if we had to have service done around the world. Right? So the Katana OC50, it has performance, it has feels like home for Shelly, number one thing, as well as it was something that we ended up spending more than we wanted to, but that's usually the case of anything that you do.
So we're excited to reveal it to you and show you our new home.